So I was given the opportunity to try out the demo for Enchanted Portals. Massive shout out to Perp Games, the publisher for this game, for reaching out to me and giving me this opportunity. Please take into account that this is a demo build of the game and is not representative of the final product, as there will be missing and placeholder assets at this stage. So the demo has two levels. The first level is a boss battle against the giant cow that you can see here, and the second level is a run and gun level that takes place in a jungle. Just going to give you my first impressions of how the game feels to play. So there are 3 different spells that we can switch between at any time. These are the fire spell, ice spell, and wind spell. Now for me personally, the fire spell and the ice spell didn't feel that much different to each other. They both shoot in a straight line, and they both feel like the standard weapon that you would have in a run and gun shooter like Contra. The wind spell, however, did feel very different. It feels very much like the spread shot weapon from games like Cuphead, where we are able to fire in multiple directions at the same time. I found this weapon really effective and really useful. We also have a shield spell that can be used to block attacks, but I found that I didn't use this that often, if I'm being honest. It felt like it was more effective to move out of the way or to dash in the air out of the way. Now, speaking about the air dash in the game, my main problem I had with it is the fact that it feels quite delayed. Like, there's such a huge cooldown after we have performed an air dash before we can use it again, and it just feels as though we should be able to use it a bit more rapidly in succession. Something that I thought was pretty awesome about the cow boss battle is the fact that it has multiple different styles of gameplay within it. There's this flying stage at the end. There's the more standard gameplay where you're on foot in the first phase, and the second phase has sort of like a dance mini game, which I thought was pretty cool and pretty fun. I just think it's really neat that you get to see 3 completely different styles of play all within the same boss battle, because that adds a lot of variation and it makes the boss more interesting and exciting to fight against, because you never know what's coming next. I would say that I definitely enjoyed the boss battle a lot more than the run and gun stage that follows. In the run and gun stage, it plays more like a classic 2D shooter like Contra, but it felt a lot more trial and error, and there wasn't as much variation in the gameplay here. The whole section is based around jumping on top of these alligators so you can get through, but as mentioned earlier with the air dash, it feels as though navigation through this level would feel a lot more responsive and manageable if we were able to have a smaller cooldown on the air dash. When it comes to the art style and the art direction, obviously this is quite a subjective thing. I do feel that it's varied and interesting. There's lots of detail in the background, especially on the cow boss level. There's lots of like small little details going on there. And I do really appreciate the amount of effort that has gone into some of that artwork. I think in places it's lacking in some visual flair and visual identity. And I do think that the cow boss looks visually a lot better than the run and gun stage. So overall, the visual style and aesthetic might vary between each of the levels, but that remains to be seen. Generally, I feel the controls are pretty solid. We're able to hold a button down to position ourselves in one spot and stay fixed there. We're able to dash out of the way, as I've mentioned. We're able to switch between the 3 weapons very quickly. It does feel that there is a little bit of stiffness and delay there in switching between all of these things. So we're switching between planting ourselves on the ground, switching between air dashing, changing weapons. All that stuff is good, but it just feels as though there are kind of delays in between doing them. I just kind of think bringing those things together and having the controls be a bit tighter and a bit faster and more responsive would really help make this game flow a lot better, and it would feel so much more fluid to play. As mentioned, this is the demo of the game, so that stuff could be patched in, can be iterated upon in the final release of the game. There's a lot of promise with Enchanted Portals, and I really enjoyed myself when playing this game, especially the boss battle. I thought it was really fun. A lot of people might be thinking about the difficulty of the game. Is it a hard game? It's definitely difficult, sometimes by clear design, sometimes by kind of unfair things coming at you, more so in the run and gun level, doesn't quite have that same level of polish, it feels like, at least not at this stage with the demo. The game has a lot of potential, and I'm looking forward to seeing the other bosses in the final release of the game, as well as seeing like what other ideas are brought up for the run and gun stages. Hopefully they do play a bit smoother than the run and gun stage that was showcased in this demo. So this has been my quick first impressions video for Enchanted Portals. Just want to say a massive thank you once again to Perp Games for giving me the opportunity to cover this game and take a look at it in an early state. I really appreciate that. It's very much appreciated here on the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think about Enchanted Portals. Will you be playing the game? And how do you feel about the gameplay that has been shown so far? This has been Bradbin. This has been Enchanted Portals. Catch you in the next one. Bradbin out.